All right, we're back on Morning Line. It's our final segment. We've got a great panel of guests, just good people here involved with Paychecks for Patriots. General Max Haston is with us this morning. We also have Bob Ravener with us from Dollar General and Commissioner Burns Phillips from the state with Department of Labor and Workforce. And we just got a computer tablet here with many. I was just curious. I think the Commissioner did a good job talking about the skills these employers will be looking for. But I mean, some of the names of the companies that are going to be here, and they're biggies. Well, the ones that will be at the hiring fair.
Absolutely. The Lee Company, Vanderbilt, Clopay, Tech Systems, FedEx, Marriott, Corrections Corporation of America, Walden Security, Embraer, Gap, Verizon, Macy's, Assurion, AAA, TVA, Walgreens, Secure America, Averett Express, Twice Daily, TBI.
Oh, that's awesome.
Carol.
That's a lot of big name companies.
A lot of huge names.
And it should be pointed out that a lot of those companies will have very senior management there.
Yep.
Okay.
So that each individual that comes will have an opportunity to speak, like Bob, for example, and really get an insight on the company and the jobs that are offered.
Yeah, that's one thing one of the talking points we talked about during the break. Then, so there'll be small group discussions with people like Bob, where they can kind of step aside. And did you do that last year?
No, it's a new wrinkle. I think it's one of the things we try to do is continuously improve this effort, and this is another step in that direction where we want to be able to give some personal time to the folks. I can't be everywhere actually, but I'll be here in Nashville.
Oh, I think that's great. Just to answer their questions kind of more. Now, would that be talking about the opportunities at Dollar General, or in general, just you sharing your experiences?
It's really kind of one-on-one coaching. Whatever questions they have, they're willing to answer.
Just a general insight into what that specific company does and the background of the company and so forth. Sometimes that helps.
All of those that he named, and again, sometimes you have to start maybe lower down to work your way up to something more. What kind of salaries do we think some of these jobs, what are they paying?
It runs the gamut. I think, what there are, and what's the beauty of this is with so many employers in place is they've got different needs that can hopefully match up the different skills that people bring in where they are in their career track. For those just exiting the military, to those who we mentioned before may have already gotten out of the military, been working somewhere else. One of the things I would say, as I mentioned earlier, at Dollar General, as one example, we like to think of ourselves as a career company. And as I said, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. By getting people in the door, we promote from within. Over 77% of our store managers, for instance, were promoted from within. The majority of our district regional managers and corporate people are hired from within our store support center and just north of Nashville. 3 out of every 4 jobs are filled from within. So that's why it's so important to get your foot in the door and launch your career from there. And I would suspect most employers do it the same way.
Yeah, those are the questions they need to ask you when they come, so they recognize that there's just room for growth. You come in there, you work hard, and you move your way up, which is the story of what you've done.
That's right.
From the very beginning on all of this. What do you think, if there's someone watching out there right now that is a service member, is going through maybe a tough time and he's not happy with his job or her job, or they haven't found it, what do you think, as they watch this, perhaps if they're not sure they want to come, is their biggest hurdle or concern? What would keep someone from coming to this? And maybe you can allay those fears. I mean, why would someone not want to come to one of these things?
I think it's just the fear of taking that first step.
So what would you say to them?
I would tell them to go look in the mirror, and I tell my members today, life's too short. If you don't like what you're doing, and when you're shaving or putting your makeup on in the morning, and you're not looking forward to going to work and doing your
that's
career,
the vast majority of Americans out there, as it is. Sometimes you just have to be at a paycheck.
Well, absolutely. But if you're not happy, you have. This is an opportunity, and so. As Bob said, dress for success. Bring your resume. What do you have to lose?
Yeah.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
When I was getting out of the military, I think the biggest fear anybody has is the fear of rejection. And rejection is there. When I was getting out of the military, I can't tell you how many rejection letters I received. But you only need one yes.
Yeah.
And one yes launches the rest of your life.
How did the yes come from Pepsi?
The yes came from Pepsi through perseverance and follow-up and interest and passion. And Pepsi was the one that said yes, but I had dozens of rejection letters that came before that.
Yeah. So did I. Okay, I mean, I'm lucky to have a job, but I mean, it's true. That'll build character. But you may show up at this, and there may be one business that you're really interested in. It may not work out, but there will be another one. The bottom line is, every one of these, if someone's out there hesitant to do this, or maybe lacking confidence or whatever, because they haven't been in the workplace for a while, is every single one of them will be welcoming. You're not. This is not kind of sometimes cold knocking on the door. Hey, can you hire?
No.
They're all looking. So you walk in there, and you're the star that they want to talk to. I just want to emphasize that.
This is the key that opens the door to opportunity for anybody that comes in.
Yeah.
And if you're afraid of rejection, or if you're just reluctant to take the first step, as the general said, this opens the door. The door is open. All you have to do is step through. And that's a real advantage in today's employment world.
Now, you anticipate something like this and you're going to continue, as you say, trying to make it better every year. But I mean, is the need going to still be there? Well, how's it looking right now with regard to the military and the Guard and folks? I mean, you anticipate the same degree of need next year and the year after and the year after? What do we hope happens?
Well, the Paychecks for Patriots is it's a annual keystone in our hiring for our veterans.
Okay.
But throughout the year, within the Tennessee National Guard, we have our JSIP program, which is a jobs program, which over the last 3 years, we put over 4,000 members and family members to work. And that's including the soldiers and airmen that participated in Paychecks for Patriots. So we never stopped doing this within the Tennessee Military Department.
Okay.
But this is this is the keystone event all year for our members and employees.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Certainly, this isn't the only time all year. That program, then, it's more low key than this, obviously.
It is.
But how does it work?
Well, it's where, and I tell our members, if you're a member of the Tennessee National Guard and you don't have a job, it's because you don't want a job, an extra, because we can get you a job. We have great relationships with most all of these employers that I have showed you on here. We keep relationships with them throughout the year, and that relationship is enhanced, and we got that relationship with working with the Department of Labor and them putting that contact together. So this is just not on the 18th. The 18th is a keystone event. It is where you can come that day, and there are people there that it's an immediate need. But throughout the year, we have the ability within our military department to assist our employees and their family members.
What are the rules again if someone's in the Guard and they're working and they get called away? The job's to be held for them that they're working at, correct?
Absolutely. And I have got to say this, through 12 years of war, of us deploying people around the world, we have had very little problems with employers here in Tennessee.
No, employers are proud of it.
Yeah, well, we're the volunteer state, and and that means more than just the member going to serve. It's the employers, they serve, and so we've had a tremendous amount of support. But there is laws that's in place, USERRA laws, that says that if you mobilize an employee or you have gone to training, that your employer is required by law to
for a period of time to retain your job, so you can come back
to have a position that you can come back to.
Now, I'm wondering with that, and I'm glad to hear it's not an issue in Tennessee, but do you suspect there's any hesitancy among employers thinking, gosh, hiring a National Guardsman, that's great and I respect it, but boy, I don't need to be without one of my ace employees for 6 months out of the year. If he gets called away, I don't need that headache. I'm just saying, has that ever come up?
Oh, absolutely, it has. Okay. I mean, it's not, we're society, and the employers are profit driven. I mean, they're not doing it for their health, and so and so yes, they have concern. I worked with an employer yesterday, a local police agency here, Mike Walker, Colonel Mike Walker, out at Laverne
Talk
Police
about
Department.
Mike, yeah, great guy.
Great.
Former head of the Highway Patrol.
He is a great guy. He has 9 individuals on the Laverne Police Department out there, and that are Guard members.
So they could all go at once, potentially?
Tremendous.
Can you imagine that?
Well, and I will tell you is that during 2005 and 2006, we had police departments around Tennessee that had a lot of their employees that was Guard members that left, and it left them in a lurch.
Yeah.
And we tried to work with them as best we could, but they were all supportive.
It worked out. I know the
Absolutely.
Sheriff's Department, several of them had that. As we said, a lot in law enforcement. Well, listen, we just have about a couple minutes left. I want to just remind folks again, all right, there will be 8 locations on the 18th, right? 4 across the state. Memphis, Clarksville, Knoxville, and here in Nashville. Nashville is going to be at Bridgestone. And you said, oh, we got it up there. All right, hiring event, and that's going to be 10 to 2. It's going to be 10 to 2 everywhere at these other locations. And you can get free parking if you show up at the hiring. I guess what you're saying, it's going to over there in the parking lot on 6th Avenue. And then also, if you get there, go to the Predators table and you get some free tickets. First come, first serve on that. If folks want to prep, and he was reading some of them, if you go, what website do you go to learn more information? And will it list the names of the companies hiring on the website? Do you know?
Yes.
It does, and all you need to do is go to our website, which is, the Tennessee Department of Labor and Workforce Development. And you just Google that, and it'll take you right to it.
Okay, but I would think that might not be a bad idea if you want to go on there and take a look and see who's going to be there, and maybe say, well, and do some research on the company before you go there.
Well, I think the companies are serious about hiring. They want to know they've got serious candidates, and the best way to be serious about it is to prep.
That's what I do, man. Figure out what they want to hear and deliver it, and then you've got the skills behind you and all of that. Fantastic. Will you guys come back next year?
Absolutely.
I mean, we'd be glad anytime we can help with this or get the word out to help that. I think this is a fantastic event, 5th year, and you're right. It's something that we just need to keep doing down the road. Sure. General Bob, Dollar General, great job, and Commissioner, you're a good guy. And thanks again, all three of you, for coming on. I really appreciate it. We'll do this again. Best of luck on that, and I'll remind you guys once again when we come back, just the dates and times and all of that. We'll be back right after this. Thank you, guys.